This is my next project. This is actually an outhouse. It's not one that can be used really, but I'm going to take it all apart and put it back together, find a roof for it, and I will be able to have my porta pot in it. So it should be fairly easy to take apart. It's got screws there with a nut on the other side, as long as the nut comes off okay. Can't even see if I've got the nut. Ah, there it is. Then should be able to get it at least apart today. Well, I got it all taken apart, and this is why the porta pot cannot be used the way it was. No bottom. So I don't know if they can do anything with that or not. See if the seat fits on my toilet, since mine is broke. But there's all the sides to it. And of course it's starting to rain again. Been working on getting the outhouse set up, and I've got as much done as I can do for today. I've got both sides on and the back on. Callie thinks this is a good place for her to lie, whatever. I can never remember which is right. And problem being, I can't do any more until I get some dirt in here. The ground is so uneven here that it's just tilted. So I have a wheelbarrow that Mother of Many Horses left. I have a place where I might be able to get some dirt, a couple places. So I will be getting some dirt and getting it in here and getting this area all leveled out so that I can have outhouse set up. Not sure when I'll be able to work on that next. It's super hot out here right now, and I'm glad to be done for the day. Well, it's put back together, and depending on how much exposure I mind, I can even use it. Of course, I don't think I'd enjoy it too much in a pouring rainstorm, so I'm going to see about putting some 2x4s in the corners along the bottom. I still have to get something in here to even up the floor, and see if I can't get a roof up here. And then with a roof up here, then I have protection from the weather. There's even a door to it, and I'll finally have a place that I can go to the bathroom in privacy. And it's big enough that if I needed to, I could even take a shower in here. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of making sure you have the proper measurements when you're cutting things. I measured in here and came up with a measurement of 34 inches, so I cut the boards accordingly. And as you can see, they're too short. When I came in and I measured again, I found a measurement, came up with a measurement of 41. So, needless to say, this nice base that I made does not fit. I hope that I have enough wood without buying more to redo this. I should be able to use at least some of the pieces in the top for making a frame. I'm not going to point up to look at that because of the position of the sun. So I'm not sure what all I have left in the way of pieces. I know I have at least a few. I need to measure to see how high these walls are, so that I know that I have 4 that are the right length for that. Well, I just looked in my equipment shelter to see what I had in the way of 2x4. I forgot I have 2 that had been used for something else and still have nails and whatnot in them. So I had those as well as all the pieces here. I hope that I should be good. I have at least a couple pieces. This one, for instance, I think is just the right length. That one might be a little bit small, but it's close. We'll see. Well, I'm back working on the outhouse. I've managed to find a few more pieces of board, and I have the bottom frame in place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go from the outside and screw into it. Then I'll run 2x4s up to the top. Might go above the roof there, because if I put 2x4s at the very top there without going above it, then it's going to block the vents, and I don't really want to do that. The vents I will have to put something over eventually, I just don't know what. But it's getting there. Well, it was not the easiest, but I was able to get it all screwed. I had to pull it out so I could get behind the outhouse. And I've got a block of wood there. And another one. Callie! And another one there. Might have to find a different one to put there. But at least it makes it so the door closes. Now, I don't know why I've got a big gap in the door here. It doesn't really matter, because I'm not really expecting people to be around when I'm using this. There's no handle here for the door, so I will be figuring something out for that so the door stays closed. Otherwise, I'm afraid it might get ripped off in some of the storms that we have. Now that I've got the outside screwed in, I'm going to see how high it is to the top there, and I will be putting 2x4s all the way up to the top, and then making sure it's pretty square so that I can get a roof on. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. I've managed to figure it out so far. And at least for now, if I don't have anything to use for a roof, I'm just going to use some old feed bags. They'll do to keep the rain out and the sun off of me, and be much better than what I have now, a lot more room. I wasn't sure how I was going to keep the board in place while I screwed it, because I want the screws coming from the other side, since if I screwed it from this side, I don't know that it would screw into the wall. Well, I came up with an idea. I have a 3-inch screw there, another one down there. That one I couldn't get in all the way. I don't know if it's just because of the angle I was at or what, but come around outside and let me see, can you see them? Got a screw sticking out there, another one down there. So I can now go ahead and screw the board in place and then take the 3-inch screws out. Well, it is not exactly square, but it has a roof on it. Yeah, there's some overhang gaps there. I am hoping that when there's bad weather that not too much comes in. But since the bad weather normally comes from the north, which is facing that direction, and that's where the equipment shelter is, I'm hoping that it'll be pretty good. I would have liked to have had it completely square, but there's no way I could have done that by myself. Maybe with some help I could have. But I now have a place that I can go to the bathroom in private.